Hey, so I kind of wanted to make a quick video going over my Pokemon binder. This is all cards that I've accumulated over the past several years. There's mostly older cards in here, so like Generation 3 and 4. There's some Generation 2 in there. But yeah, let's get started. So this is the main page. I kind of just put my favorite cards up here, like cards that are special or like grail cards, I guess. Yeah, so up here we have the Dark Steelix from, I believe this is Rocket Returns. I just really like the artwork on this, and I think the dual typing is pretty cool. This is a dark and steel type. I just really like the color scheme that they used for the dual types. This one wasn't too expensive. I think I paid like $5 for it, like earlier this year. So I just really like that card, and I put it in here because I like Steelix. The next card is this Zekrom from, I believe it's Black Bolt. I think is the Japanese half that this came in. I got this, I think, last week. I never got the original one from original Black and White, and when I saw this, I just knew I had to have it, so I picked that one up on eBay not too long ago. The English one is pretty expensive, so I didn't go for it. I don't plan on selling these cards ever, so I just get them for my own collection. The Japanese one was, I think, about half of what the English one goes for. I think this was like $230 maybe. So yeah, this is one of probably my favorite modern card, and it's a bit out of place in this binder, but I think it deserves a spot on this page. The next one here is a German Psyduck that I got from a German preview pack, I think it was, or like a promo pack. They come with like 3 cards, usually in like a set list for an upcoming set. I don't remember which set this is. I think it's Undaunted, maybe. I'm not too sure, but Psyduck is my favorite Pokemon, so I decided to put it in on the front page for that reason. Nothing else really too special about it. This next one here is an Espeon Delta species that I got. Espeon is the best evolution, I think. I'm not too crazy about them, but I really like this one. I think my brother traded this to me. I don't remember. This is from, I believe it's Holon Phantoms or Delta species. I don't remember the English name of this set. Yeah, that's why I have it in here. I just really like Espeon a lot, and it's a dual type. Next one is my ultimate Holy Grail card, which is the Crystal Nidoking. I think the artwork, if it'll focus, is really great. I think this is my favorite card of all time, so obviously I had to put it in here. I picked this up earlier this year, I think, or end of last year, before the prices went insane. So yeah, that's why this is in here. This is really the only crystal card I care about, so it's a collection I don't have to worry about, hopefully. Next one, I had to have a Pikachu in the front. This is the World Hobby Fair 2005 Pikachu. It was part of a deck originally. It was the Lightning Quick construction deck. I'll probably have a photo of it up on the screen somewhere. But yeah, so they made a World Hobby Fair promo, I guess, that they gave away to people who attended the event. But the original card is part of the construction deck, which I believe that symbol is there if it'll focus. Yeah. The next one here is this Neo Genesis Pichu. I just like Pichu and I like the artwork. There's no other reason why this is in here. And the same thing kind of goes for this one here, this Diamond and Pearl base set Shiftry. I had this card growing up. I collected a lot during this era, and this card is just really nostalgic. The same thing with this one. I had the Venusaur Crystal Guardians deck when that came out, so I played that one a lot in school, so had to have Venusaur on the front. All right, for this next page, this is the Gold Stars. I am missing another Mew, a Flareon, and a Vaporeon. I don't know where those are. I pulled all of those besides the Flareon when they came out. But yeah, let's just get into this section here. I got pretty much all of these before the prices went really crazy, so I'm not like rich or anything, but these are pretty unobtainable now for me, I think. First one, well, first, I guess two here, we have the Groudon and the Kyogre. This one, I actually sold my old Nintendo Switch OLED to be able to fund this. I think this was like $380 sometime, I think a year and a half or 2 years ago. Now I think they're like close to $800. The Celebi was a PSA graded one that I cracked. I think it was PSA 4 or a 6. And I got that with the Metagross, which I'll talk about here in a minute. But yeah, this one wasn't too expensive. I think it was only $260 at the time. And this one, the Kyogre, I got this one in 2021, I believe, and I paid $45 on eBay, which is pretty wild considering what these go for now. Moving down here, I have the two gift box, I guess you can call them promos, the Mewtwo and Pikachu. I got both of these as well for pretty cheap. I think Pikachu, I paid $70 for. The Mewtwo was a little bit more because I delayed getting it and then the prices went up. I think it was like $180 or so, which is pretty good considering both of them are like, I think $800 now on average. Same with this Mew. The Mew was not the cheapest. I think this was like $360. But again, they're all like worth way more now. So I'm just glad I got them when I got them. The Metagross was also a slab that I cracked. I think this one was a 4, but it's a really good 4. There's like some minor surface scratches. The Alakazam, I got this one for really cheap. Well, compared to other English prices, I think I paid $310 for it, which is really not bad. I mean, it's a little off center, but as long as I have the card, I'm not too worried about it. All right, the Raikou, I got this one end of last year, I think. Might have been before then. Actually, I think it was 2 years ago, now that I think of it. This one wasn't too expensive. I think it was like $120, maybe. I have 2 of these. Well, I gave one away, but I had 2 of these at one point. The Entei and Suicune. There is an Entei on eBay right now for $370, but I think it's French. I don't really want one in French. I'd like to have Japanese or English. But yeah, I don't think I'll ever get the rest of these, to be honest, with the prices right now. Here's the Reggies. The Reggie Rock. Funny story, I actually got this for free in high school. Someone just gave it to me. And they gave me the Flareon too, but they wanted it back. So I just gave it back to them because these weren't really worth anything back then. And yeah, that's how I got that. The Reggie Steel, I think, was a slab that I cracked. And this was an auction that I won. I don't remember how much I paid for these. And for the last one, the Latios, This was by far the most expensive one. I think this was 500, and like a week later they tripled in value. So if I didn't get it when I did, I probably wouldn't have it. The Latias, never gonna get that. That's way too much. Same with the others. I think the market for gold stars is a little bit crazy right now, and I don't think it's gonna come down. So I've kind of just given up. But yeah, let's move on. These are just random EXs that I have. I've got most of these like way back when they're dirt cheap. So there's nothing like too crazy here. This was always a grail. Both of these really were when I was a kid. Never got to pull them, but I had to grab them when I had the money. So I'm really happy to have these two. And this Celebi EX, I actually ran this in a deck with Gardevoir EX back in the day. So this is always a fun card to have. And then here's some others. I really like the shattered foil on these two. I still need to get the others from these two trios. And here's just some more. This one, I don't know if it'll come off on camera. This one's in really bad shape. I accidentally bid on an auction on eBay for this, and I didn't realize. I would have never bought this card if I would have paid attention, because it's just in such bad shape. This here is from, I believe this is from a gift box. I think it's Aura's Lucario. I forget the exact name of it, but there's two of them. There's an alt art, which I think my brother has this one. Yeah, this is a pretty cool card to have. I don't see many people that have this card. And then up here is the Fire Red and Leaf Green starter EXs. I haven't really done much with the EX cards, so I'm still missing the Venusaur. But I really like this Charizard. If I can take it out, the hollow like bleed on it is pretty crazy, I think. And if the camera will focus, there's like a swirl where my thumb is. You can kind of see it. So yeah, this was on my main page, but I put the Zekrom where this was. Here's just more of these like cool Delta Species cards. Some of them have the stamp and the reverse holo. I always just really like these cards because of the alternate like color schemes on them. This one is pretty upsetting though. It's really off-center. I need to order a new one of these. The person who sold it to me, they didn't send me the card that was in the listing, and I just didn't open it in time to notice, like between the return window, but at least I have it. This card is pretty nostalgic to me. I pulled this back in the day. I really enjoy having this card. Here's just some more. I do need to get more of these, but I've just been focusing on other things since prices have gotten pretty crazy for some of the stuff I'm about to go over. So here's just a bunch of empty pages. Just some more random like holos and cards with cool art. Here's a Deoxys page that I made. It's just some random Deoxys promos that I could find. I believe most of these are from the movie. Here is the EX Deoxys Holo Deoxys, and the reason why I'm pointing this out is because I have two variants of this card that are kind of special. So I have a slab of the German Pokemon Day Deoxys promo, which I think is pretty cool. I don't ever see this. Just got this last month. And then a few days ago I got this, which is the movie, I guess the movie promo of this. This one's a bit more common, but I just thought it'd be cool to have this anyway. I like collecting Deoxys, but this one's pretty off-center, but it was also pretty cheap. I think this was like 40 bucks. And then we got the Delta Species ones, the defense form. I think this is the attack form, if I'm not mistaken. The speed form. And then these two are actually the same card, just with different artwork. And then here's another page I'm trying to complete. These are just some like random Reggie promos from Gen 3. I don't remember where these three are from, but they're identical to these cards as well, minus the artwork. These are the Meiji promos, which you got from buying like chocolate in Japan. There's a bunch of Meiji promos that I need to get, but these are the only three that I have. I'm not quite sure what to put down here. So if you have any suggestions for like Gen 3 Reggie promos, just let me know. Here's a like Eon Twin page. I'm missing the Latias version of this one, so I need to get that. Not too sure what to put here. I might put the EXs there, but I haven't decided yet. So this is from the 10th movie promo. This is the Alto Mares, I believe it is, Latias and Latios, which I have Latias here. Then there's the Pop 7 promos. I think these were blister promos, I don't remember. And then there's the half deck, the Holon Phantoms, and then the Delta Species ones. I really like these two. These are pretty cool. But yeah, I definitely need to stop being lazy and get these done. Then here is the original Alto Mares, Latias and Latios, and the Soul Dew. These were really cheap when I got them. I think I paid like 10 bucks for this, and this one might have been like 25. Now I'm seeing them for over 500, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, I need to get that set complete at some point. And here's just some random cast forms that I got. I think these are from Hidden Legends, I believe is the set. I just really like cast form. I like any Pokemon that can change form, so this is pretty cool. I need to figure out what to put on this page to complement these. It's just some more empty pages. And then this is where I'm currently at. I've been going kind of crazy trying to complete the level X set. I'm not gonna spend too much time talking about these, but I will point out this is a pretty common error, I believe. So it's got the Pokebody like logo here, but it's got the red text from the Pokepower. So this is supposed to be a Pokepower, but they did a misprint on it. But this seems to be pretty common. Down here is the promo version. So you can see it's the Pokebody. A lot of the level X cards are kind of a pain to get because there's like the pack versions, and then there's also like the pack or the promo versions, and then there's like special like language exclusive ones, which I'll show later on. These three are pretty nostalgic for me, as well as this one. I had these growing up. These are pretty cool to have. Same with like these three. I always enjoyed having those in my collection. And yeah, you'll have like these two Drapions, which you have like the pack version here for I think this is Platinum base set, PT1. And then there's the promo. And they're like wildly different in price. I think one of them's like 15 bucks and the other one I think I paid like 40. It was either 40 or 80. So it's kind of crazy. It's pretty annoying too, because they're like so different, but they're so similar. And then there's the Arceus, which there's 3 here and there's 2 more there. Some of those, I believe some of these are language exclusive, I can't remember. And this one was pretty annoying to get. At the time when I bought this, I didn't find any good condition Leafeons, so I had to buy a CGC 6 and crack it. But at least I have it. Yeah, and there's only one land form Shaman level X, but there's 2 sky forms, which is kind of interesting. Yeah, these all like range pretty wildly in price. I don't really understand why. Like this Gengar here, on average I think they go for like $100, but then like most of these other ones are between like $8 and like $20. So I guess they just didn't print as many as some others. I'm not too sure. But yeah, I still need to finish this. I think I'm like 8 cards away maybe of completing it. And then I started doing like these small subsets of like Diamond and Pearl and Platinum. So here I've got all the secret rare like shiny cards that came out. Most of these weren't too expensive. The only really expensive ones were the Relicanth, I think, which I think this one was like 40. And then this one I believe was also 40. Most of these were like between 10 and 25. And then I started collecting like just some random cool or like obscure and rare trainer cards from Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum. I kind of want to put these down here because I don't know what else to put. I do know what I'm going to put in here. I want to put like the tournament cards in here, but they're pretty expensive, so I've kind of just held off on that for now. But yeah, this is a pretty cool like subset to have. I did pull this and this one when the sets came out, but I'm not sure what happened to them. Here is the different Rotom forms. This was pretty cheap to get. I think each card was like between $5 and $10. So yeah, this is pretty cheap to get. And I like these more than the English ones because I don't know if the camera will pick it up. These have like the mosaic foil instead of the shattered foil, and that might be a hot take, but I do like the mosaic a little bit more, and the shattered foil tends to scratch easier, so that's kind of ensured that I get a better like condition card. Not too sure what to put down here. I believe there was a promo or like a trainer that went with the Rotoms, so I'll probably just get that and put that down here, but it's empty for now. And then this is the Arceus, like a little subset they did. If you put all the cards like in a row, it has a ripple effect that you can kind of see. I thought this was pretty cool. So yeah, this is pretty nice to have. I had this one, and this one growing up, but I've pretty much lost most of the original cards that I had. This wasn't too expensive to get. Some of them were pretty annoying. I think it was the steel and dark one were like $20 each at the time, but I think most of them are less. And then this here is all of the Gen 4 held item Pokemon. I don't see too many people who have the complete set. This set was pretty cheap to get. These were expensive though. I think these were $50 for the set. This one, the Darkrai, was pretty hard to get a good condition one, but it wasn't expensive. I think it was like $8. This was the only really expensive one. This one was, I think, 90 or 100. I don't exactly know where this came from, the promo. So if you remember, just let me know in the comments. So yeah, there's only like 16 of these. Don't know what to put down here, so I need to figure that out. Here's just some Heart Gold and Soul Silver like promos. I also don't entirely remember where these came from. There's I think there's 6 more of this like little set that I need to get. These aren't too expensive. I think you can get them for like 30 bucks each, but I can't remember. This isn't too interesting, but I like to collect like Pichus that I like. So that's what's here. I've got the Pichu Bros from Pop 3. And then the old movie promo. I think that's what this is. So yeah, this is pretty cool to have. And then this isn't anything too special either. These are just random like holos that I have. There's the Majestic Dawn birds. I think those are pretty neat. And we've got the beasts. These are like shattered foil holos, and I think there was another version that was reverse holo where the foil was on the opposite, like it was reverse holo foil, but I just went with these because I don't like scratches. And these are from, I think this is Secret Wonders. I think that's like probably the best set they've made, personally. I might do a master set of that at some point. So yeah, just more of these random Diamond and Pearl cards. I got the trio for the Johto starters recently. And then the Kanto ones. This card was pretty annoying to get. I ordered it and it was like 80 bucks. And the person who was selling it didn't send it out for whatever reason, so they canceled the order. But then I found another one for sale, which is this one, for $20 on eBay, which was pretty nice. It might have actually been 15, but I think I got a pretty good deal on this. Here's the tin promos for the shiny dogs or beasts, whatever. These are pretty cool. I need to get the pack versions, the Call of Legends ones, but I'm pretty sure those are pretty expensive now. There's also a Japanese promo like line of them, which are like $1,500 each if you can find them. I don't think I'll ever get those, but that would definitely be cool to have. The Steelix here, I think this is from the Organized Play. I think it might have been like a prize card. I don't exactly know where this came from, but it's pretty cool to have. Yeah, it's just some more empty pages. This is pretty cool. This is I believe it's the Hirobuzz Porygon Z 2009 promo. I don't exactly know what it is, but there's a Ponyta that goes with it. I think those are the only 2 promos they made. Nobody really has these, which is pretty cool. This one, you can get it for between like $40 and $80. The prices are really like wacky because there's not many of them. The Ponyta, there's one on eBay right now for I think $130. There was 2 total listings that I've ever seen, and I bought the other one. I'm still waiting on that to come. This is the pre-release Motham for Majestic Dawn. It's pretty cool to have this. I don't see many people with this either. And here's just a lone Entei from the 10th movie promo. I believe that goes with the 10th movie promo, Latios and Latios that I showed off earlier. So I need to get that set complete too. And there's nothing else really here. I did get a couple of interesting cards recently. I got this 2006, I think it is. Yeah, this Touch Exchange, but it's the stamped version, which is pretty neat. I need to get the rest of the Touch Exchange cards. I think this was like a tournament prize or something. I don't really remember. I've got this Hamada Slowking, which is neat. It's a Gen 2 card, but it has the Gen 1, like, if the camera will show it off, it's got like the Collecion texture on it, which I was told this is the only Gen 2 card that has the Collecion texture. Let me know if I'm wrong. And then there's a Psyduck promo. I don't remember the set off the top of my head, but I pretty much just went on eBay and looked for the most expensive Psyduck card, and I got it. This was like $150, I think, which is pretty neat. But yeah, that's the binder. Yeah, so I'll probably be doing more TCG videos in the future. So I guess I'll see you in the next video.